So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop. Prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No! You can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's Zenni.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. You might have heard that live shopping is exploding, and I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront, and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. How are you? Happy Thursday. Come on in here. Good to have you. It's a little warm in the studio today, thank goodness. It's been so cold all over the country, so come on in, I'll warm you up, all right? I've got my alpaca hoodie on today, and it feels so good. So I just got off a Zoom call on Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. I always do my Face Your Passion Inner Circle call, and you would have never convinced me years ago that I would get out of bed early and do a 7 a.m. call. But I got to tell you, when you hang out with people who are willing to get up and go all in at 7 a.m. in the morning, your life changes. Man, what a great group of folks. But we got a conversation today of a model that's kind of emerging from my mind after 20 years of doing this, and I shared it with him today. I'm going to give you a little bit of that today as well. It will not be just be a one-way conversation, but interesting stuff that will challenge personal growth, that will challenge maybe some of the models that you've looked at. If you've ever been to a seminar or read a book or even listened to this podcast and said, okay, I'm going to give it a try and it didn't work or wore off on you, there's reasons for that. There's all kinds of cognitive reasons why things don't work. And I'm challenging some of the psychological models that are out there simply because I've sat in this chair for 20 years and I've seen with my own eyes what works. So we'll talk about that today, Bet. How are you? It is the Daily Boost Podcast. My name is Scott Smith. Thanks for coming by. Can you believe it? Almost 20 years. Our 20th year next year. And people saying, Scott, are you going to retire after 20? I don't know. 20 years, we'll see what happens. Maybe that'll be it. But we are kind of moving a little bit from the motivational stage of my life to more of the practical, philosophical stage of my life. So I think you're going to start to see me kind of still motivating, yes, but in different ways as we move forward here. It should be awesome. So let's talk about this today. I have, for years, I've said this. I've said a couple of things. Number one, you will change when you wear yourself out. You want motivation? If life is not going the way you want it to go, it's okay. You'll get tired one day, you'll change. And I do not mean that in a negative way. I just understand that eventually the pieces come together and you go, oh, I should do this instead of that. That's all I ever meant by that. And I see it all the time. I've also had said on this show many times that I believe that everybody knows exactly what they want, how they want to feel, but they can't quite describe it. In fact, if I were to say it in a word, it would be that thing you just can't touch. It's that feeling you want to have. Some people will call it serenity. Some people, we were talking words this morning. The word I like was euphoria. It's that moment in time It's that location. It's that place that happens. It's not being present. It just exists where you go, it's pretty good. I like this, right? And so that's what I think people are looking for. And personally, for me in my life, I've always looked for that. Because have you done this before in your life? Have you noticed there are certain times, this is good, man. It doesn't have anything to do with money or people or anything like that. It's just good. You just have a feeling in your body. It's just good. To me, in Florida, I get it sometimes when it's 78 degrees and about 62% humidity. It's like, damn, it's just good. So I've seen this for years. And what I began to recognize was this, that who you want to be is not your past self, not your present self, not your future self. In fact, I will challenge the future self model because I've never understood how you can not be that person and know what you're going to be doing. I get psychologically how it all works, but it's always bugged me a little bit. I've always noticed that people tend to emerge into who they're going to be. It emerges. What emerges? It's a natural process. It's kind of an integration. It self-appears, and it does that when the conditions are right. I've seen this again and again, and you've seen it yourself. There are certain times that you can set up conditions where your behavior or your feeling emerges. You might think, hey, I set up conditions of a romantic evening for my wedding anniversary, and certain things emerge, right? Same thing. You can't manufacture it. You can't force it. I think you can create the environment where it naturally occurs, and that's what I think life is. I think you create an environment of how you live in your life, and then you get all this other stuff that's cool. It's like consciousness emerging from a neural activity, life emerging from chemistry, the same thing. And you've heard me talk about this before about the third identity. It's you, it's what you do, and it's that other third, that mythical thing, the mythical me. Like in my heart, this is who I feel like I am, but I can't quite figure out who it is, right? I see it all the time. An emergent property. It appears when everything kind of integrates together. So how does this come together? How does this happen? And does this sound really kind of weird to you? Because as I challenge things, I just look at, I'm very, very practical in how I think. I think you've learned about me over time. Theory is okay, but it's theory. Theoretical thinking where we actually can't put the pieces together, where you and I can't stand and go, okay, we did this and that happened. That's theoretical. That drives me insane. And I have a hard time with that. So, but practically I can say, hey, black, white, this worked. It's cool. It's awesome. So as we begin to put this together, if I would call this, say, an emergence model, if I want you to emerge into who you're going to be, because I know it's going to happen anyway, you're going to change little by little by little. And I will say this, at the call that I just had a couple of minutes ago, I saw emergence happen multiple times during the call. It's just moments in time when you see a small shift in body language. You see a shift in breathing. You see people go, oh, it made sense. I believe that's where life is lived. But how does that work?
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
As I began to break this thing down, I'm very new in this concept. You're going to hear a whole lot more about this in the future as I begin to evolve this a bit more. But it's got 4 major steps. The first step is what we would call accumulated wisdom. Pattern recognition across all the domains of your life and across time too. It's not just reading more books or living longer. It's actually the recognition of what's going on in your world around you. It's integration of that learning with your living. It's understanding principles through experience. It's sometimes hard for somebody who's 25 years old. No, it's impossible for somebody who's 25 years old to have that accumulated wisdom of somebody my age. Just impossible. We've just been through more crap. That's all. Self-knowledge through observation across your actual life. So the number one step, I think, in getting that emergence that you want is to accumulate wisdom, and you accumulate wisdom by experience. First step. Number 2, practicing consistency. It would be sequential action. You hear me say stand up, take a step, repeat all the time. It's sequentially moving in a certain direction. Now, the thing about it is, and we'll talk about this in a minute, the messy middle, but it all kind of happens at the same time. But we're talking about creating a condition so you emerge the feeling that you want. That's daily discipline in actual conditions. It's present action. That there's a bridge that kind of connects that past wisdom that you built, that accumulated wisdom, with whatever your future intention is. So yes, we can take the goals that you have. We can look at what your future self is and what your intention is for your life. We can do that. But still, if we can build a bridge between what we want in the future and the wisdom we have already accumulated, the answer is always inside you. You know more than anybody else on the planet about yourself and what you want and what you're going to do. If we can connect that with a bridge, which is what I do all the time in Face Your Passion, we can start to make this thing work. Consistency over intensity, showing up regardless of motivation. A lot of people listen to this podcast to get motivated. Well, that's fine, but regardless of it, you need to go. You need to be consistent. And intensity is fantastic, but you can't keep it going forever. This time of year, it's going to be a very intense time of year. I prefer to be consistent. We can enjoy the ride. A little long today, by the way, be a couple of minutes longer on the show, I think, because I can see as my timing is going here. Third step in this process is navigating the messy middle. Now, this is interesting. This is kind of staying present in the collision of life, in life, home, inner self, all that kind of stuff. And this is kind of where I separate a little bit. A lot of people are all about adding to their life or subtracting from their life. And I do believe you need to subtract to make your life better. But I understand life as well. It's not about that. It's a mess. It's in the middle. That's where you are. I like to call it the collision zone. And that's where everything just comes together. But that's also where the magic happens. You don't have to escape it. You just have to learn to manage it. You have to navigate it. It's the multiple dimensions around your life. They kind of converge together. Integrations kind of happen. And it's not simplified. It's not making it easier. No, it's not running from it. It's all the stuff you say you want to get rid of. But the truth is, you will emerge out of it is what will happen. As soon as you just recognize, well, here we are. Let's get some tools and techniques so I can manage this a little bit better. And I promise you this, that a lot of the stuff you just hate to do will go away. And you start to kind of get into that moment where you're like, I'm happy. I'm good. It's the 77 degrees and 62% humidity or whatever I said before. And number 4, the allowance of emergence. So back to what I said before, I think emergence, I think the feeling you want to have in your life is actually more like a location. It's more like, okay, I'm going to go here. That's where I want to be. It's a location. And to get to the location, we have to create conditions to do that. And that becomes some of the stuff we just talked about. And we don't force the outcome. Yes, we can force some outcomes, but have you ever noticed it's like planting a garden? You cannot force the outcome of a garden. All you can do is set the conditions of the garden and then let the garden do its thing. Let the plants emerge, right? It's a natural process. And through kind of a detached engagement, if you will, caring without caring. I say this all the time. People will get on coaching calls and I'll say, I care, but I don't care. And people say, oh, you care, Scott. I know you better than that. You're a very compassionate guy. I am. Not lying at all. It's just that detached engagement where I care, but I don't care. I have no control over the outcome in many cases. Doesn't matter. It's a natural process. I'm just in it. That's what I'm doing. Patience as an active practice, not passive waiting. Patience as an active practice, not passive waiting. You put these things together and you begin to emerge. Not the person who you should be, the person who you will be, the person who you're going to become someday. No, not that. The person who you actually are emerges. That mythical me, that person inside of you where we're like, if I could only get this feeling all the time. Is it possible? Yes, it is. Can you do it at will? I don't know. I'm human. But I more and more begin to challenge what we're trying to do to get there because I simply see it does not work. And sometimes when we take a breath and pull back a little bit, it works really, really effectively. So who's the third you? Lately, I've been telling people I'm retired. You know why? Because they ask me, are you retired yet? And I said, well, I still run my business. I'm good. Oh, what do you do? It's crazy. So now when they ask me what I do, I say, I'm retired. They go, oh, that's good. Look at you. I emerged to be able to tell them something was so easy. It doesn't matter. They just understand it. We move on. And that's kind of interesting. You just figure this stuff out. I was talking to Paula this morning on the call. Paula's now retired. She emerged into retirement. Very interesting. Just bits and pieces, a little bit all the time, instead of forcing it. And the older you get, the more wisdom you get, the more you'll realize that's how it's going to work anyway. And I think your number one job in life is to accumulate wisdom. And from that wisdom will come the happiness you're looking for. All right, that's all I got to say. Sorry for the longest, but I'll be back tomorrow. That's what I do. I have no idea. Oh, we'll figure it out. I'll see you tomorrow on the Daily Boost.